Merhaba. That means good morning in Albanian. I'm learning. All right, so in this video, this is a longer form video. I'm gonna simply walk you through the timeline that it took me to decide to move to Albania and then actually be in my apartment in the first morning. So this is the first morning in my new apartment. All right, so longer form video, and there's Barnabas is saying good morning too. All right, so what was the timeline? I just recorded a short, so you can watch the short version too. So I had already been doing the research. So let me recap. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the timeline just to show you that if I can do it, you can do it. And that by the end of this video, you should have a little bit more empowerment to recognize that if you're traveling solo, you're traveling with your pet, or you're traveling as a couple or as a family, just know that if I can do this, you can do this. And it does not need to take you months, and it definitively does not need to take you years to decide to move abroad. Now, it's totally, based on your circumstances, like if you have to complete something or finish, or you're selling a house or finishing a job or something like that, obviously that's a different scenario. But I'm trying to give you real-time context that I didn't use an agency, I didn't use any kind of like consulting or coaching, or I didn't take a mini master class or anything. Because I've moved abroad before, that puts me in a slightly different category. I've also been living in Turkey for the last 6 years, and I moved abroad in 2015. And hi, my name is Cara, if you don't know. I moved abroad in 2015, and I've already secured multiple residences in multiple countries. I lived on 3 continents, so this isn't my first time, but that's basically why I'm trying to explain to you, even if this is your first time moving abroad, I want to show you how possible it is to do DIY by yourself. And that doesn't mean if you want to use some kind of agency. There's lots of really helpful people on YouTube, especially, who have already moved abroad, especially Americans who've moved abroad, or even Americans who've moved specifically to Albania. So I'm not poo-pooing any like agency or business. If that's the route you want to take, absolutely. If that's going to give you more confidence and make you feel more safe and comfortable, do that. I'm simply showing you that you don't have to do that there's a lot that you can do by yourself. Now, when it comes to applying for like your residency, when it gets into the legalities, I 1000% suggest and recommend that you do use an attorney, that you do go through some process where you're not doing it on your own. You're not trying to just apply for something like that, like you're buying property or you're applying for your residency, etc. I myself always use legal services. I always do that route. I spend the extra time, effort, and money because I don't want to be guessing on those things. I'm simply showing you that it's possible to book an Airbnb on your own, find a real estate agent, find apartments to look at once you land, fly or drive to the country that you're visiting, that you're moving to. Now, caveat, especially for the Americans watching, I encourage you to, if this is your first time moving abroad, or if you're moving, like this is like a whole new experience for you, or maybe you're moving to a new country, another country, I really encourage you to first live in a non-EU country. Why? Quite simply, it's more simple in terms of the bureaucracy and the visas and all the requirements. That gets your feet wet. You usually get 90 days, sometimes more. Like Albania, we get up to a year if you're an American. Georgia is another amazing country. I highly recommend. I haven't talked about Georgia yet on this on this channel, but I have spent time in Tbilisi. I'll talk about Georgia later in another video. There's actually a lot of countries. I'm going to talk about all the countries I've moved and secured visas in different videos. But right now I'm just focusing on the step-by-step, day-to-day of me moving from Turkey to Albania. So I'm just sharing that it's possible for you to do this and secure all those things. And like I said, I really suggest starting in a non-EU country. And then while you're, let's say, staying in an Airbnb, then you can take a little side trip and go to your EU country that you're dreaming of. Maybe you're dreaming of Spain or Portugal or France or Germany or Italy or Greece or, okay? So because there are more hurdles, there's more of an uphill battle when it comes to legalities and being able to stay longer term in EU countries. That is why I suggest starting in non-EU countries and then visiting them. Because here's the thing, you might have an idea of what you think it's going to be like to live in a specific country. That country might be an EU country, and your expectations and then the reality of actually living there day to day might be totally different. So it's a matter of boots on the ground and really having that experience where you can go on holiday and really enjoy it. Because I think one of the trip ups for Americans is that they have this idyllic idea of living in Europe, and they have their heart set. This is what I really want you to take away from this video. They have their heart so set on a particular country. And that I can tell you from someone who's lived abroad for over a decade, that's gonna be one of your biggest downfalls. If you're attached to a place, if you're attached to an idea, if you're attached to it having to just be something very specific. Adaptability and being flexible is the name of the game when you live abroad. And that includes like which country and city you're gonna live in. Because if you attach yourself to these ideas, you're going to set yourself up for a negative experience, and you're gonna set yourself up for being very disappointed. So that's why like flexibility, adaptability, being able to vacillate is crucial. And that fundamentally starts with which country that you're starting in. So be open to possibilities. Be open to discovering a new place, a new country, a new city, or even maybe in your travels, you end up meeting somebody or people that open your eyes to something else that you hadn't even put your radar on yet. So that's what I really encourage you. Instead of being like, I have to move to France. Okay, I mean, you might be in for such an uphill battle if you're going to be so attached to that idea, because you've already idealized then that country and what you think your life is going to be like that, and then the reality is totally different. So flexibility, adaptability, please don't get attached to any place, please. So okay, so once I decided to actually move to Albania, it was about 3 weeks out from when I actually left. 3 weeks. Can you move to a new country in 3 weeks? Yes, you can. Now you might need to do that research like I did, and I encourage you to do that. But I'm just saying that I found my Airbnb, obviously, on the app. I found like a great area like that was central, so it was really easy to get around. Through my Airbnb host, I found my real estate agent, and then from the real estate agent, I also got to see the locations, the apartments, and then I also found my driver online. So I was able to do all those things in less than 3 weeks. And then the drive here was great. Airbnb host was great. This is my first morning in my new place, and did all of that. I already found my grocery stores. I got my nails done. I already found my manicurist. I'm looking for a massage therapist. Already went to Vodafone. Already found my internet. I might have to cut this one off. I'll close this one out. But I was able to do this all in less than 3 weeks, plus find some other great things as I've landed. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope this is super helpful and inspiring. I'm encouraging you to move abroad. See you in the next one. If you have any questions, book a call with me. The links are in the description. Bye for now.